When the curtain falls. Imagine this, one day the world is full of Diane Keaton quirky charm, iconic style, unforgettable performances. The next? Silence. The announcement spreads across headlines like wildfire, Diane Keaton dies at 79. For many, it's as if the lights dimmed in the theater of Hollywood, and we collectively gasped, wait, she's gone? That shock, that disbelief, it's the moment we all share when an icon departs. But beyond the headline, there's a life full of art, reinvention, contradictions, and legacy. Let's walk through it not as an obituary, but as a story. A tribute. Because Keaton didn't just leave films behind, she left lessons. The Girl with the Bowler Hat, Early Life and Rise. From Diane Hall to Diane Keaton. Diane Keaton was born Diane Hall on January 5, 1946, in Los Angeles, California. Raised by a mother who loved photography and a father in real estate, Diane grew up with an eye for beauty and a desire to tell stories. She adopted her mother's maiden name, Keaton, when she began acting, perhaps already glimpsing the sense of identity she would craft so carefully. Before film fame, she cut her teeth in theater. The stage calls to you differently, what you deliver can't be edited out. That grounding shaped her sensibility, a blend of spontaneity and discipline. Spotlight and reinvention, from Godfather to Annie Hall. Breaking into Hollywood, then breaking the mold. Her first major exposure came with The Godfather, 1972, where she played Kay Adams, navigating love, loyalty, fear, and transformation in the shadows of a mafia empire. It was a role that wouldn't define her but would help introduce her. The real breakout Diane arrived with Woody Allen's Annie Hall, 1977. That quirky wardrobe, hats, ties, vests wasn't costume so much as signature. She won the Oscar for Best Actress for that role. With Annie Hall, she became not just an actress but a cultural touchstone. Then came reinvention after reinvention, teaming with Nancy Meyers, leading romantic comedies, Baby Boom, family movies, Father of the Bride, ensemble comedies, The First Wives Club. She proved she was more than one box. Curious how she sustained reinvention for decades? That's where her mindset gives a masterclass. Keep going. Grace under the spotlight, private struggles, public strength. Beyond the glitz. Behind the hat, the style, the laughter, there were shadows. Diane never married, she wasn't given the conventional Hollywood life. But she adopted 2 children and shaped her life on her own terms. In recent months, sources say her health declined very suddenly. She even listed her longtime beloved dream home for sale, surprising many. Friends say even close ones didn't fully know what was happening. Yet those who knew her honored her as someone without guile, a complete original. Bette Midler wrote, "What you saw was who she was, oh, la. Even in passing, she taught us, vulnerability doesn't diminish strength, it dignifies it." The unfinished projects, dreams interrupted. What could have been? At the time of her passing, Diane Keaton was attached to 3 unfinished film projects. Among them, Artist in Residence, with Andy Garcia, where she was to play an eccentric artist resisting eviction. A Romance with Richard Gere. A survival thriller still in the nebulous phase. These projects, left in limbo, feel like blank pages of a book she still wanted to write. And yet even incomplete, they tell us she was still creating, still reaching, still imagining. That's a legacy in motion. Legacy in motion, roles, style, influence. Why Diane Keaton mattered. 1. She redefined style. Her bowler hats, oversized suits, ties, quirky combinations, she turned dress like a man in a feminine world into a statement. When people mimicked the coastal grandmother aesthetic, she was already there decades earlier. 2. She championed women on screen. She wasn't just part of romantic comedies, she carried them. Women who crave humor, depth, contradiction, that was her domain. 3. She crossed genres. Drama, comedy, romance, thriller, even directing. She refused to be pigeonholed. 4. She lived a life true to herself. No forced public persona, no manufactured narratives, she cultivated mystery and warmth in balance. 5. She taught us artistry is lifelong. Even late in her career she wrote, acted, designed homes, flipped this and that. She embodied that creativity doesn't retire. When the final credits roll on your life, what do you want to have said about you? Lessons we can steal from Diane's playbook. Actionable takeaways. Curate your identity. Style doesn't have to follow trends, it can reflect your soul. Let your quirks be your trademark. Keep growing, don't stop starting new projects. Diane was doing that even in her final days. Embrace vulnerability, admitting health, uncertainty, flaws. That's not weakness. It's human. Balance public and private. She protected her inner life, even while performing for billions. Leave space for mystery. Sometimes what isn't said is as powerful as what is. If you could carry forward one Diane lesson in your life, what would it be? Pause, think, then act. Final curtain, a call to remember and reflect. Diane Keaton wasn't perfect. She struggled. She changed. She scared, she dazzled, she whispered and roared. She didn't depart quietly. Her absence demands we ask questions, feel deeply, and remember what it means to live on one's own terms. So here's your moment. Share this tribute with someone who loves film. Leave a comment. One Diane film you'll always rewatch, one moment that moved you. And if her story nudges you to pick up something you've been put off, a project, a style, a journey, do it. In memory of Diane, let's dare more, live more strangely, and leave behind our own signature. Rest in light, Diane Keaton, and may your spirit keep inspiring.